According to an article from Game Informer, it would appear as if the E3 gameplay demo that we got for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order was deliberately downplayed. E3, EA Play, if that's a separate thing, I don't care. Anyways, if this article is to be believed, then I see no reason why it wouldn't be. Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order's gameplay has a lot more to it than the demo that we saw gave it credit. I'm not saying the gameplay demo we did get was bad, I actually kinda liked even that. It looked fun, engaging, and the combat looked thoughtful, and its primary purpose was to show off the combat, to be fair to it. However, it would appear as if Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is shaping up to be a much higher caliber of game than even this gameplay makes you expect. Now, I would talk about the whole article, but that takes away from the article's existence, and I feel as if that would be unfair for me to do. So instead, I'm going to take the points that I think we need to talk about, which makes Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order blatantly better than the gameplay that we got. Obviously, if you want to give it a read yourself, there will be a link in the description so you can go ahead and do that. The article explains that Jedi Fallen Order is a single-player game that weaves almost everything that people have come to love about Star Wars into the framework of a sprawling adventure. What it's essentially saying is that the story is like a Star Wars movie. We have our story, we have our upbeat moments, typical Star Wars stuff, something that well and truly fits into the universe. The author of the article goes on to say that the spirit of the Star Wars movies is front and center, a driving force that delivers a continual sense of awe in its visuals and sound. At the same time, the Star Wars side of it doesn't steal away from the gameplay and adventure. Apparently the game isn't a stealth game, but the gameplay demo kind of covered that. The article goes on to talk about the thoughtful lightsaber combat for the next paragraph, and now we already know about that because that's one of the things that the gameplay didn't downplay. The next paragraph talks about the game outside of the combat, in which it's apparently inspired heavily by the Metroid series, meaning players can freely explore worlds and come back to them later with new powers that can be used to reach different areas. Apparently there will be no point where we'll see an objective on our screen, so there'll be no telling us what to do. Respawn apparently doesn't want to hold our hand, and fair enough, I think that makes for a more challenging game. And so it'll be up to us to make our own path through these worlds, and that's something that I definitely look forward to. Apparently we will have our own ship, which is captained by a character called Grease Dritus, who is a part of a new alien species and all that stuff, which is pretty cool. Now apparently he willfully transports this group of characters to any planet at any time, both to progress the story and for freeform backtracking, which means just a little bit of free roam. The article doesn't know how many worlds there are yet, but apparently according to the concept art and clips from the trailer, it's a good number. I don't need to know any more than that on that one. Apparently the ratio of established Star Wars planets and new planets is about even, so that means we'll be experiencing a lot of new canon planets in the Star Wars universe in this game, making it likely rich with lore. Apparently each world will have a hub where the ship lands, where the player can return to rest up, save, apply skill points, and spark conversations with characters to learn more about them, the worlds, and overall story. Apparently the ship also offers other activities that Respawn doesn't want to reveal just yet. Not exactly full-on open world hub areas, you can essentially go wherever you want. This is striking me as a little bit Mass Effect-esque. Obviously it will probably be vastly different than Mass Effect, but based on that ship traversal system, it sounds slightly similar. And I've also seen a lot of people equate it to God of War, which makes perfect sense as well. Now here's a cool bit: when players choose a new destination, the flight is handled in real time, meaning there won't be any loading screens, giving the player time to engage with the different activities on the ship. Now that sounds like a really cool way to avoid loading screens. Everything's done in real time, so essentially what will happen is you'll go into hyperspace and then you'll have a few minutes or so to just doss around on the ship, engaging your crew in various activities that are on the ship apparently. Sounds kind of immersive when you think about it. Apparently when in world spaces, the droid that you're with, BD1, brings up the map of the region so you're not in a menu, which is another cool way to keep yourself immersed. Of course this map will tell you where you've been and where you haven't actually been, and highlights points of interest in gold. Apparently it's a critical component to exploration, so I definitely think it's going to be one of those things where you'll have to use it. And since there's no waypoint system, it could be quite helpful. This is something that I kind of like, keeping the map part of the immersion. I think a lot more games should probably try doing that, where the map's in real time in the game and actually makes sense for being there, as opposed to you going onto a pause menu to open it and then suddenly the character knows where he's going. Apparently they don't want to breadcrumb us along, saying that they mark an objective on the map that is well off in the distance in the fog of war, and the player has to figure out how to discover and explore toward that ultimate goal. I think the biggest thing in this article is that Metroid-inspired system in which you have your own ship, and you can go to any world at your discretion whenever you want. And you can go back to it at any point as well to explore it and to find things that you might not have been able to get to the last time you were there due to a lack of ability. And honestly, this article is 100% worth a complete read because it paints Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in a light that makes it seem like the Star Wars game that we've needed for years. Now my big question is, at EA Play where we got this gameplay demo, why did they downplay it like this? They showed off the combat, but that's literally it. They might have showed off a bit of traversal, a bit of how the droid is helpful, but beyond that we didn't get to see very much at all. After the shenanigans of Battlefront, it's important that they show us that this game is going to be different, it's going to be incredible, etc, etc. And now they appear to have it, and yet they don't want to share it. Which leads a lot of people to ask the question, why on earth aren't you showing us the bigger picture of this game? I think it probably just shows just how confident Respawn and EA are with this game. More so EA, because otherwise they would have shown us that bigger picture to prove to us that this game is that good, when in reality they know that the reviews will speak for themselves when the game launches, so there's no reason to show stupid amounts of it. I don't know about you, but I'm massively keen on the idea of Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order having more to it than a simple linear narrative. Another cool thing is that in exploration you can unearth chests that contain cosmetic items that can change the way Cal, BD1, your ship, and your lightsaber can look, including the colour of the blade. Something that caught my eye last minute, but something I 100% wanted for this game. Though the article states, just don't expect to get a red blade for a Jedi. Another cool little bit of depth that the gameplay demo didn't actually bother to get into. Either way, thanks to this article, we know it's there. Obviously they want us to know about it through people writing articles and things, and through people who've played the game stating that it's that good. However, they still just don't want to show us these things. I guess we'll have to wait and see to find out more about this stuff officially, but by comparison to how the game is supposedly going to be, the gameplay demo left a lot to be desired. That being said, I'll take comfort in the fact that according to these articles, there's a lot more to the game than the gameplay has shown us. But anyways, please do let me know what you think about this down in the comments section. Thank you all for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed. Be sure to go ahead, leave a like, subscribe, share the channel with your friends and all that wonderful stuff, I would really appreciate it. And I'll see you all very soon with another video at some point.